Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out some TikTok drama that found me, or I found it, but let's not get into those details. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. What are you doing? Let's get into it.
My husband's been telling his coworkers that I'm his sister. Yeah, his sister.
Okay, without going any further, there's someone at that workplace that he wants to smash.
It's just okay. We've smashed a lot of things here.
My husband and I have been married for 3 years. No kids, a dog. I mean, life is good for us. Or so I thought life was good for us. For the past 2 years, my husband's been working at this accounting firm that he absolutely loves. He's pretty good friends with his coworkers, and sometimes after work, they'll get drinks or dinner, but I've never gone. Now, people might think this is kind of weird, but it's not. I've never asked to go. I have my own friends, my own life. I like my husband to have his life and be able to do his things, and I like us to have our own independence in our marriage. Looking back now, yeah, it's weird that he never invited me, not a single time. I've met all my husband's other friends that are not work friends, and he's met all of my friends, but yeah, he never invited me to any of
The work stuff.
his work friend hangouts. I didn't realize it at the time, but this whole secret started to reveal itself over a year ago. I was out celebrating a friend's birthday without my husband, let's call him Josh, when a guy that I had never met comes up to me at the bar and is like, "Hey, it's Kels, right?" I cannot hide a single expression on my face, so the man knew I was confused because I was literally staring at him like, and that's when he was like, "Oh, I work with Josh." And that made sense. I was like, oh, actually, now that I'm like squinting my eyes and looking at him a little closer, I feel like my husband had shown me a photo of this guy before. We had a little bit of awkward small talk. I mean, I was trying to be nice.
It is insane to me that throughout the conversation that she's having with this guy, he's like, this is my work friend's sister. I'm probably thinking of like hitting on her, but like,
Obviously, I wanted to make a good impression. It's my husband's coworker, but also I was celebrating my friend's birthday and I wanted to go hang out with the girls. So near the end of the conversation, when it was clear that, the conversation was ending, the guy goes, I think it's really nice how close you and Josh are. I wish my brother lived near me and we were so close. And
at this point, you're not even infuriated because it's not like possible that a husband would be saying that the wife is his sister, but like,
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I mean, knowing what I know now, I wish it would have set off way more alarm bells.
Exactly.
But I was like, the guy's been drinking. He does not know what he's talking about. And like, it's just not that big of a deal. Whatever. Maybe he just has been thinking about his brother today. Really wanted to talk about him with somebody. I don't know. None of my business. I guess it is my business. It was my business. I just didn't think it was. I never told Josh about this conversation. Not because I was trying to hide it, but because honestly,
You didn't think
I forgot about it.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a 3-minute conversation in my whole night. And when I got home from the bar, Josh was already asleep. So by the time we were talking in the morning, like, it's past. The thought is past. I never really thought about it again. Here's where everything really started clicking for me.
Not good.
Yesterday morning, I was taking our dog Monty out for a walk. Now, Monty's a pretty unique looking dog, so, I mean, you can tell it's him. If you met the dog before, you know who he is. As we're walking past a coffee shop, this guy walks out and immediately lights up when he sees the dog. And immediately it's like, "Monty, it's so good to see you." And Monty is so excited, and immediately I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, how is this my dog, but I don't know you, and you know Monty, and you guys are such good friends."
This must be one of Josh's coworkers because Josh actually brings Monty to the office a few times a week. So I was like, oh, this makes sense. This is how you would recognize my dog, and my dog clearly knows who you are. Then he turns to me and he's like, "You must be Kels. I've heard so much about you." And I am like, "Oh, do you work with Josh?" And I was right. He was like, "Yeah, I do." And so we have a little bit of small talk and, he's petting the dog. All's going well. But that's when he's like, "You are an incredible sister," walking Josh's dog for him. My first thought was to tell this man that I'm not Josh's sister.
Excuse me, this is not a sister with the ring.
I'm his wife, his incredible, loving wife. But I was like, this man seems nice. I don't really need to put him in that uncomfortable position right now. And honestly, I didn't even really know how to react. So I'm just basically standing there like, what do you say back to that? I had like a million thoughts racing in my head. And this guy looks at me so confused because he's like, what is up with this girl? Like, why is she just staring at me like that? All I managed to blurt out is, yeah, he's a really good dog, before I'm like, oh, we have to get going, and just like skirt it off. Because what am I supposed to say?
No, at this point, this is literally the second time this is happening with everyone from his work. And yeah, I think you're supposed to say something.
in that moment. I tell Monty, I'm sorry, bud, but this walk is getting cut short because I need to go contemplate my entire marriage. And the perfect time to contemplate your entire life is a walk home, so that is what I did. On this walk, a lot of things started clicking for me. Like, one is that Josh always told me that his company didn't allow +1s for holiday parties. Why did I even believe this? Every company allows +1s for holiday parties. He just was hiding me. Luckily, Josh is on a work trip for the next few days, so I can think about how I want to handle this situation because I'm floored. Do I make the mature and rational decision and talk to him about this when he gets home?
No.
Or do I make a little surprise trip to his office? Because I'm kind of leaning towards the...
He's getting lunch, like 6-course meal lunch at his office that day. Sweet wife, no, sorry, sweet sister.
Latter.
Get ready me while I tell you a story time about my cheating, manipulative, and aggressive ex. So basically, me and this guy were friends for ages, right? And then we got really close at some point, and then we started dating, and he asked me out. So I'm going straight forward to when he cheated on me. So the day before he cheated on me, he started guilt-tripping me, saying, oh, you don't love me, you don't show me this, you don't show me that. I was going through his followers, and one of the girls that he followed, he hadn't unfollowed her for about a year now. Keep in mind, he's never mentioned to me anything about this girl. I have never heard her name, and he just never mentioned her. So I was like, who the hell is this? And when I asked to unfollow her, he kept on refusing. So as a girl does, I went ahead and texted the girl, and I was like, hey, do you know him? And I sent his TikTok profile. And of course her reply is with, yeah, we've been dating for 2 years now, why?
Come on now, dog.
Also, keep in mind, I've been dating
for 2 years.
him for a year now at this point. So it was kind of weird because he's never mentioned...
How did he manage to date? He has 3 years experience. 2 was like two jobs at the same time, but like he managed to date 2 women and they had 0 idea of each other for a whole year. He's good.
me that girl in his life, even when we weren't together. So I really had the urge to just go ahead and text him like, what the f*** are you doing? But I actually kept it in, and me and her decided to add each other on Snap, and we basically just exchanged screenshots and were ready to expose him. So I went ahead and screenshotted all the lovely messages he would send me, like, oh, I love you so much, you're my wife, I want to marry you, I want you to have my kids, all of that. And he sent the same to her as well. We basically found out that this guy AI generated the messages and then basically just switched the name up every time he would send it to each other.
Come on, man.
Okay, this is really annoying when you see a natural touch for, oh my gosh, I love you, and then forward or catch you, copy and paste it to the next conversation. Oh my gosh, I love you, the same words, heartfelt thing. You can say it's disgusting, but AI generated, it's criminal. There should be charges laid.
In these situations, I'm always the first one to just hate the girl, like, completely. Just, I don't care what the story is. I hate you, like, you ruined my relationship. But this...
To be fair, you were in her relationship because she has been dating him for like 2 years.
was a kind of different. Like, me and the girl started becoming really close friends. So once me and the girl had got all the evidence that we needed, we decided to make a group chat and I added him into it, and he was just acting all confused, as boys do. Anyway, so everything that needed to be said has been said, and then I leave the group chat, and about 5 minutes later, guess who starts calling my line? I obviously don't pick up the phone, but he keeps texting me saying, if you don't come back to me, I'm going to myself. And guys, my sympathy just couldn't take it anymore, and I kind of took him back. I just put black...
Wait. She took him back. Wait, let's understand this. She took him back.
Eyeliner, by the way. So the night after I come back to him, we start calling and FaceTiming. Everything is normal, but my trust issues are just not there. Did I just say trust issues? I mean, my trust does not.
You shouldn't have trust.
My boyfriend cheated on me with his ex, so I got with his dad. I started dating my ex 3 months after he had just broken up with his ex, and that was the biggest mistake of my life. And he told me that he was the one that had broken up with her because she was crazy. And we dated for 6 months, and throughout these 6 months, I mean, he would always talk trash about his ex. He was constantly bringing her up in conversations that had nothing to do with her. I innocently thought, well, he hates his ex so much, like everything a guy says, just twist it. Like, the way he broke up with me to be with his ex was the worst thing ever. Going through a breakup is hard enough, but imagine like going through a breakup where you have no closure at all. There was a day where he slept over as usual. Next day, he went home, and by the end of the day, I was blocked everywhere. Oh, I had a really good relationship with his dad. His dad had always treated me, like, honestly, even better than he did.
True.
After this happened, I immediately called his dad, and I was crying and asking him, like, what's wrong with Jake?
And daddy said, come here, I'll take care of you. Jake cannot handle you. I'll do it.
He blocked me everywhere. What's going on? He hated Jake's ex, and he loved me. Basically was the one that came clean about it, and he was like, Jake is back with his ex. During this phone call, he was listening to me cry and whatever. He says, well, Jake is gonna sleep over at his ex's house. Do you want to come over for dinner? We'll talk about this. And I of course said yes, but I'm like, this man is a true gentleman. I got to his house and he had prepared like a whole dinner, and he had a bottle of wine. He had like done the most. I was like, okay, is this going to be like more than a normal dinner with my ex-father-in-law? Jake and his dad lived together alone. I was crying a lot. I mean, obviously, and I'm already wine drunk after a little bit, and one thing leads to another, and he kisses me. I always thought he was like extremely handsome, but it never crossed my mind to do that to Jake. We end up like fully making out. Jake is not going to sleep over. So this starts to be a regular thing. Oh, by the way, his dad is 50. He didn't really have a great relationship, and I think just his dad probably was in love with me throughout like my relationship with Jake. He's always there for me whenever I need, and like
He's always there, like, Jake is not taking care of you. I'll do this, I'll do that.
End up like actually falling in love with him too, and this goes on for about like 2 months. I don't feel bad about any of this, because the way to break up with someone like that, it deserves all of this and actually more. When I was dating Jake, I was always at his place, so his dad was really used to me being there, and he really wanted me to move in fully to be his girlfriend. He was always talking about how when I was dating Jake, he always thought that I was like too good for him because I treated him so nicely and he didn't. I was going to be Jake's stepmom. So he tells Jake, I want to introduce you to my new girlfriend. You can bring over your girlfriend, his ex.
This is the best. I cannot wait. I want to be a fly in the wall at that party.
You can imagine how this dinner went.
Yeah.
I'm the one who opens the door. The way both of their faces dropped, I was like, hi, I'm your stepmom now. This was the perfect revenge.
I don't know why my life
Okay, that was so good. He's like, hi. You can call me mom. Since you can't call me babe, you can call me mom.
is full of events so crazy that they should only happen in movies, but I am back with another dating story time, and this is just another reminder to always trust your gut instinct, because your intuition is always right. So in March this year, I met this boy at the gym that I go to, and we started seeing each other from June. And after about a month and a half of seeing each other every single weekend and twice throughout the week at the gym as well, he reassured me that we were exclusive, that he wasn't sleeping with anyone else, and that he wanted a relationship. Let me just preface that by saying he got out of an 8-year relationship last year, and so I was kind of expecting him to just be like, oh, I'm not really looking for a relationship at the moment, but he told me he was, and I believed him. Now, because I have been cheated on in the past, I am very hyper aware and a bit psychotic. So I would always go through his following just to look at the girls that he's following, just to see like if I can find anything. Anyway, so there was this girl that he was following when we first started seeing each other. And after like a month or two, when I rechecked again, they weren't following each other, but I didn't really think anything of it. I eventually found out that that girl was the girl that he was seeing before me. And in September, they started following each other again, which I thought was kind of weird. So I asked him if they still talk to each other. He said, yeah, sometimes, but it's platonic. We just send each other memes, check in on each other. So
No. It's a rule of thumb. You should not be talking to, especially an ex that you've been dating for 8 years. You guys literally had a whole lifetime together. No.
Stuff like that. So I tried to not be psychotic at this point, and I just left it. 2 weeks ago, I saw 3 message notifications from this girl on his phone, and I wanted to confront him about it, but I kind of brought it up in a roundabout way at first because I wanted him to tell me. So I asked him when was the last time he spoke to her, and he told me last week. I said, like, would you show me the messages? He was like, no, it's personal. And I was like, but if you guys just send each other memes and stuff, like, how is it that?
No.
Personal. And he was like, well, I wouldn't want you to send like our conversation to someone else. So it was just like very sus. Anyway, I told him to unfollow and stop talking to this girl because it made me uncomfortable, to which he did. And I also said to him, you know, like, if you don't show me the messages, I'm literally never going to be able to trust you again. And he was like, that's fine. I will prove to you that you can trust me. but just still like wasn't willing to show me the messages. So this fight went on for like 5 days. I kept telling him to show me the messages. He kept getting really defensive and saying like, we've had this conversation 5 times, and just like really invalidating my feelings. He kept being like, I've unfollowed her, I've stopped talking to her, like why can't you trust me? And as much as my head was telling me to run because that is so against my morals, I was like, you know what, this guy's done so much for me over the last 5 months. Everything I've asked him to change or do for me, he's done. And so I was like, maybe I should trust him and just try to move forward with it. Next minute, he comes to opinion with the, we have too many fights, there's too much conflict, I can't do this anymore. So then I was like, what the f***? Like, I was literally willing to put my morals to the side to try and move forward because I thought this relationship would work. So obviously I was like heartbroken and so upset last week because I feel like I never really got the closure I was after. So last night I decided to message the other girl. And to my surprise, this girl knew nothing about me.
What?
He's probably been telling her, I cannot get over you, so I cannot be with anyone, I'm not dating anyone else. And he's been dating her for a whole 5 months.
She had been seeing him and continuously was seeing him since April, was sleeping with him. She had no idea about me. This man had a fucking roster, right? He saw her on Friday nights. I would come down Saturday, Sunday and stay with him. And he would be up in Brisbane during the week and I would see him Tuesday, Thursday at the gym. He told us both that we were both exclusive with him and that he wanted a relationship with both of us. Anyway, so we both confronted him. And all he had to say was literally like, I'm sorry I hurt you. Like, I know I did the wrong thing. I wish I was in a better place. And then he deactivated his Instagram.
He should okay, I was about to say deactivate his life, but that's like violence and we should not be saying that. But
something tells me that me and this other girl are not the only ones that have been through this with this guy. So if you live on the Gold Coast and you've had a similar experience, please hit me up. As shitty as this was to go through, it literally just goes to show that female intuition is always right and that you should always trust your gut no matter what.
Read it with me.
The fact that he had put them on a roster, like, I'm walking this dog on Monday, I'm walking this dog on Tuesday.
While I tell you about my most traumatic experience ever, which is when I got cheated on. Let's jump into it. This is a crazy story. This is like 3 years ago or more, so obviously I am over it. So basically my ex, he had already been cheating on me several times, so it wasn't like a shock. So
why was she still with him? Like, she's already used to getting cheated on, and why was she with him still?
Basically, I was having a taco dinner at my house with my girls, and one of my girls, she came first and she was like, how are you and stuff like that with my boyfriend at that time. I was like lying to her face and I was like, oh, we're so good and everything is like perfect. Then she was like, Vicky, I have to tell you something. She told me that there's this girl, she know her through a friend. She's saying she's been with my boyfriend for 4 months. I was like, starting to cry, obviously. What the actual fuck? I don't remember if it was 4 months or 5 months, whatever. Shit. We called this girl because this girl had talked to my best friend, and I'm like, she started to talk like she was like in a relationship with him. I have been with this guy for like 6 years, so it was very weird listening to someone talking about my boyfriend like it was her boyfriend.
Yikes.
And I was just like starting to hate her. This is the thing, when you get cheated on, you start to hate the girls, and it's maybe not the right thing to do, but at the same time it's just how it is. It's the situation, and I feel bad that I was maybe hating on this girl and stuff like that. If it was me in that situation, I would have like a lot of show a lot of like remorse and just be like, I'm so sorry this happened to you, because obviously we were together for 6 years. I guess she also was hurt, so I understand her situation as well. So yeah, basically
like,
the story is that
my
I had a relationship behind my back for several months, and I kind of had it on my feeling, like my gut feeling, that something was wrong. We always do, obviously. The thing is, even now I'm like, I don't wish them anything bad.
Damn, like, wait, I was waiting for her to say, oh, I broke up with him, so, yeah. And now she's like, I don't wish them anything bad. So did he leave? Oh, she probably left him and he stayed with her.
Come on, man.
I think that's something my mom has told me since I was little, always forgive. You don't have to forget, but always forgive. It's for your own sake. So, of course, I've forgiven everyone. But yeah, there's other things that has happened, which is kind of crazy. It was actually so freaking crazy because I texted my ex and I was like, hey, we need to why did you do this to me? I don't want to be together with you anymore. Because this was like the cherry on top out of everything you have done in the past. And then he wrote back, because he was on a boys trip in a different country. He wrote back and he was like, can we take this on Monday? And it was Thursday. I was like, are you f***ing?
Can you please put your feelings on hold? Like, I'm having fun here. I'm on this boys trip, and we'll talk about this on Monday when I come back and I'm ready to visit that topic.
Kidding me right now? Oh my god. Oh, that's so psychotic. And it just shows the lack of empathy. It's crazy.
Sure.
Either way, I am good now. I've been through a lot of trauma and I've been single ever since. And I'm okay with that because I choose to be single. With the right guy. In divine timing, I will find him. But it's I so understand why people who get cheated on hate on the girl. Because it's just much easier. You don't know her. You don't know her.
True.
She ruined your life, you know?
Makes
That's
sense.
the first thing is that you start to hate on her because obviously the guys that cheat, they always want to manipulate you and they always want to say she's the one that blah 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 blah. No, you're the one in a relationship. So this is not the first time that I've been cheated on. This was the last time and I finally broke up with this guy. Thank God.
Okay, first off, the first should have been the last time you got cheated on. You deserve a lot better. And secondly, I can understand her point of saying that, oh wait, this stranger, especially when the person is not remorseful, hey, I've been dating this person for 5-6 years, and she's like, oh well, this is my boyfriend and all of those. I get why you can be pissed, but you're supposed to give that person 20% of your anger, and the whole volcano should be going to the person you are with because they broke your trust. They owe you the responsibility to be honest or break up with you if they have to cheat.
Absolutely.